talks about my youth and my beginning. I do how I became, accept my engagement to my husband. New beginnings in ministry. I don't do hats. And it doesn't mean I don't do hats. It just means that I've got to learn my identity. Because if you're not secured in who you are, amen, people will tell you who you should be. Amen. And then defining my role as a woman in ministry. And then the fragrance of the house is women of God, and especially first ladies. We should be the aroma of the house. We should be able to set out an aroma that we can draw people in because of who we are. Amen. And then one vital chapter is the eyes are watching you. Regardless of where you go and what you do, remember people are watching you. Amen. And they scrutinize everything you do. Speak to his heart, God, when you won't hear my voice. Wow. This is heavy for women in ministry. Speak to his heart when you won't hear my voice. Help me with me. And then when marriage and ministry competes. I should not say no more about that. Amen. Amen. But finally, amen, I asked you to get the book. Amen. But to Jehovah Jireh family, this is one thing that I wrote in my book that I wanted you to know. Thank you to my Jehovah Jireh Family Worship Center for embracing me as your first lady for the past 32 years. Thank you for supporting my dreams and for understanding that though Bishop and I are one, we still have our individual ministries and goals. Thank you to the following: Elder Dent, Elder Hamilton, Elder O'Neill, Elder Mutri, for being strong soldiers of the faith. And to Pastor Avis Pringle, who transitioned before the release of this book. The few years that you were with me will impact me for the rest of my life. And this book is dedicated to four of the most influential women in my life. My mother, Mrs. Emma Julia White Martin, my mother-in-law, Mrs. Ethel Dees, my twin sister, Mrs. Angelina Perkins, and my daughter, Amberly Washington. My mother, Emma Julia, as she's affectionately called, was always dedicated to her faith and family and was equipped to balance the demands of all. My mother-in-law, Ethel Days, who has transitioned from this earthly life but was instrumental in the support of our marriage. My twin sister, Angelina, who has remained my best friend and one of my biggest supporters for more than 54 years. I am grateful. Last but not least, my daughter, Amber Washington, who is a reflection of God's love and the example of the next generation of women. Thank you especially to my husband, Apostle Clarence Washington. We've traveled this life journey together almost 33 years, and we're examples that it can be done. It can be done. Amen.